Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Diaries. I am here with my lovely sister Daphne.
Hi guys, I'm back.
You are back.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you here. It's only the two of us today.
Yeah.
I wanted to just do an individual episode with you. We're currently in LA.
In LA.
Yes, you got here yesterday.
Yesterday.
Literally yesterday. I was already in LA by myself, and I was like, you know what? I miss my sister. And I always do this to you where I'm like, hey, do you want to come here? And so last minute, I will say, put so much pressure on you.
No, yeah. It was like, what time was it? Was like 1 in the morning. No, it was
it was nighttime. You were drinking wine you were
Yes.
having like a wine night with your friends, and I was like, hey, do you want to come to LA tomorrow? And you're like,
Yeah, like I was just like, yeah. And then she just like, okay, here. It was at 6 in the morning.
I booked her flight at 6,
At 6 in the morning, so you have to be there at 4. And it was 1. And I was just like, there's no way.
But you made it. It's because it was
I
like
barely made it, 'cause-
the app was like, if you take this flight, you're gonna save money. And I was like, oh, period. But I didn't know it was at 6 in the morning. I was like, oh, y tomó vino mi pobre hermana.
So, I was still there at the airport, and then I did not sleep.
You haven't slept. You haven't gotten a good night's sleep since I feel like you've gotten here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm running at like 3 hours or 4 hours.
Yeah,
Sleep.
you are.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, I feel like because I'm always traveling, I do tend to get a little bit lonely, and I feel like the first people that come to mind are you and Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole has work, so she was just like, no. Plus, she was like, Daphne needs it a little bit more than me, and I was like, okay. But I just kind of want to, kind of start off the conversation. Just ask, how are you doing? Like mentally, like how are you? How's life?
I feel like this year is going to be very different for me because I'm trying like new things. Plus, I'm a gym girl now. I used to be a gym girl, but now
you're
I'm
like a gym girly.
Yeah, so I'm starting my fitness journey, and I've been posting on my Instagram. So that's one of my goals, just to like work with like big brands, like gym brands.
Really focus on your fitness image and like. Okay, so that's what you want to do, right? Like you want to focus on. I remember. I don't know where we were, and I was like, what is something that you're passionate about? I feel like
I think we were at Nobu.
I think we were at Nobu. I think so, but I literally I remember sitting down and I told my sister, I'm like, I see so much potential in you. I'm like, you just have to put in the work and you have to be consistent. And I was like, let's do a content plan. We got very inspired, and I was like, dude, you work out. I literally, Daphne, every time I call her, she's like, I'm going to the gym. I just got out the gym. And I'm like, girl, you go so much to the gym, you might as well like film your content. This is for anyone listening or watching. Like if you already are doing that, just film it and post it. Like you never know. And I just feel like you needed that motivation. I'm like, do it. But like what really inspired you to just start? Like,
I just feel like I'm always like too reserved. Like I'm too like, in like my shell, and I'm like, how am I gonna grow if I don't like get out of my comfort zone?
Out of your shell?
Because I feel like I've always been shy to record, and now when I do it, I'm like,
who cares?
Why? Yeah, like
literally,
why?
I feel like that's why a lot of people are scared to start doing social media or to be an influencer, because they're scared of what other people are going to say, or they're scared of getting backlash or anything. I mean, social media can definitely be like a scary place because you do have to open up and you have to be vulnerable and you have to be relatable. So it's a lot, but it definitely pushes you out of your comfort zone. And I literally told Daphne, I was like, if you don't freaking start recording your gym workouts. She has the cutest gym outfits.
Yeah,
and
I did.
Dude, your legs, every single time I'm with my sister, I'm like, your legs look so nice. I'm like, cannot relate. I used to be a gym girly. Because remember when we worked out together?
Yeah.
And I was like so into fitness, and then you like weren't that into fitness at the time. Now the tables have switched.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to go get surgery. But what they don't tell you after you get like cosmetic surgery on your body is that you have to keep up with it. If you don't work out, like you're not gonna have that perfect shape forever. So I literally told Daphne, I was like, please train me, because your body is so pretty and you have the most natural body and your abs look fire. And I'm not just hyping you up because you're my sister. Your body's actually really pretty.
Thank you. But yeah, also Pilates. I feel like
Pilates,
I got into Pilates too because just ab workouts.
Pilates are actually, I get the hype. I started getting into Pilates, I think, last year, like when everybody was raving about it, and it definitely has. It just puts you even in a better mood. I think working out in general just definitely makes you feel better. It boosts your confidence. Do you feel like you've gained more confidence now going to the gym?
I feel like I have. It's just, I feel like you need to eat right. You need to be healthy. There's so many things that
is
goes
something
on with
else that goes
the
into
body.
working out is protein.
Yeah,
That's something that I struggled with
me
as
too.
well.
I'm still struggling, but you know, I'll get there. Next time you see me in this podcast, I'm gonna look different.
Dude, Daphne, you have the fastest metabolism on planet Earth. I kid you guys not. We barely eat, and she's like, I have to go to the restroom. We wake up, I have to, and I'm like, how do you do that?
No, especially coffee.
Wait,
oh my
wait,
God.
you guys. We were in Puerto Rico. Nicole and I are struggling, TMI, but we were struggling to go to the restroom. Daphne's like, I already went like 7 times, and I was like, it's day 3 and we haven't even gone. No, I'm like,
but that's one thing too. I'm like, damn, like I'm trying to like keep my food in the.
And yeah, I mean, but it's good to have a fast metabolism because, oh my God, my stomach just growled. They don't tell you this, but I used to have a very fast metabolism when I was younger, and as soon as you get older, that goes away. So anything you eat, it turns into fat immediately. Like your body does change as you get older. So I would say take advantage that you have a fast metabolism. But she literally does not like coffee. I love coffee. I wake up in the morning. I look forward to my coffee. I think about my coffee. I love espresso. I love my espresso machine. I just love coffee.
I like iced coffee, but not like
coffee.
No.
I love like just straight up black coffee and espresso.
Yeah, I
Daphne,
know.
I gave her a shot of espresso and she literally threw it up. She went to the sink and threw up the beautiful shot of espresso that I made her.
It's disgusting. Yeah, no.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we both would you say that we have a lot of similarities? No. We're not.
don't.
We're very opposite. I feel like Nicole and I can we can get in a car and jam out and be crazy.
And I'm more like it depends on my mood.
Oh my God, it's very rare for Daphne Marquez to have like a super crazy wild night. I feel like I've had those with you a couple times, and I'm very blessed that I've been able to have those.
Yep.
But I definitely feel like this year you're for sure gonna get out of your shell. I'm gonna be here to support you through everything. How are you mentally?
Mentally, I feel like I'm working on it too. I'm trying to become more spiritual. So I got into it last year.
Okay. Spiritual as in like you're trying to get spiritual like in your healing journey?
Yeah, healing journey and just I don't know, I want to be able to like manifest whatever I want. Like I want to be able to just like speak to the universe
you are capable of doing that though. But I will say I am very proud of you, and I think I said this. I was admiring you yesterday, and I was like, Daphne, I literally did not get into my healing journey until I was like a little bit later, like until I was like 23, 24, around there. And I was like, you're already starting this so young, and I'm so proud of you for doing that. And I feel like I didn't even start my healing journey until things got really, really bad, you know, when I felt like there was no other way out. And you're very mature for your age. I feel like that's something that all of us have known, that you have been very mature for your age. And I think it's very beautiful that you have been able to, you know, see that you need to start your healing journey and focus on yourself and go down that route. Because I did not have that mentality when I was your age. Girl, when I was 21...
I'm 22. Oh girl.
Oh my God, girl, you are 22. Oh my God, you're so right. Your birthday just passed. I will say this. I am the worst at birthdays.
You are.
I literally suck at birthdays. I only know my mom's birthday.
You barely know your birthday.
I just barely learned your birthday. It's December 27th.
Yeah.
I still don't know Nicole's birthday. Nicole, if you're listening to this, please. I suck at birthdays, you guys. First of all, my memory
is horrible.
I do. Yeah. I don't want to say it because I don't want to put that into the universe, but my memory's not the best. But yeah, when I was your age, even at 22, I was out and about. I was wild.
I remember. Girl, I would be like, she was out every
I was literally like, you could not tell me anything. I was like super rebelde. I was wild child. I was like drinking 4 days out of the week. Like I was just like, and I feel like because I didn't have that college experience, like all my friends back home were like, you know, going through, and I was like, well, I'm gonna also experience that.
No, yeah. So I feel like obviously everyone believes in like their own thing, and they might not believe in like spiritual and thing, but
like spirituality is like talking to the universe and manifesting, and that's what we mean by spirituality.
And last year I got into kambo.
I wanted to talk about that.
kambo, and if you don't know what's kambo, it's basically a frog, and like they release like a venom. And what they do with the venom is like they put it on your skin, so like they burn off your skin and then put it on your skin. And
Wait, can you show the camera your little dots?
yeah,
She looks like she's a part of a cult, not gonna lie.
I don't know if you can tell, but it's like,
Let me see.
like
Me not wearing my contacts.
I
Like, let
know,
me see.
like,
I can't see anything.
So-
How many do you have?
honestly, I don't
Count-
even
count them?
know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
The
12,
microphone.
13.
You have 13 dots.
13.
That's crazy. Wait, you go back. Kambo is an extraction of the frog. It's poison or
Yeah, the
venom?
venom. Yeah.
How do they take it out?
So they like, obviously, like the frog is scared and is gonna release that to
Oh, poor little frog.
protect like itself. So they scrape it off with like, I don't know, with something,
Uh-huh.
and then they like put it in a little tube and they just have it there. So no, there's no, the frogs are good.
They don't kill them or anything.
Yeah, they don't kill them or anything. So they
So after they have it in the little tube, how do they
activate it.
activate? I didn't even know you have to activate it.
Yeah,
How do you
so
activate it?
You activate it with like oil. So they put like oil and it
Like
activates.
what kind of oil?
I don't know.
So okay, so walk me through it. So they mix the oil with the venom, and they take it on like a jeringa. Or
No, they take
like-
it out with. They just like scoop it like with.
Okay, they scoop it, and then how do they burn you with it?
So con un cerillo, I don't know how to say it.
With a match. Oh, so they light up the match and it's hot?
Yeah.
Do they blow out the fire first?
Yeah, and then they go like this to your skin to peel off like here. I know it sounds crazy.
Wait,
and
I didn't
painful.
even know this. Wait. Okay, so they light up a match,
Yes.
they blow it out, and they put it directly on your
Yeah.
skin, and they
go,
rub
like,
it in.
and then do more and more.
They keep burning it and doing it until a whole layer of your skin peels off?
No, so let's say you want like 4 dots. They do
Oh.
it 4 times, like with the cerillo. And I mean, it doesn't hurt, but like obviously it's burning your skin. So then they grab like a napkin or something. They just like take off the dead skin, and then
Doesn't that hurt? Like when they're scraping your skin?
no, because it's burned off. Like it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
And then that's whenever they put the venom, and
how do they put the venom though? That's what I want to know. Like they
they just like put it like así.
oh, with their
like,
finger?
with like a little stick or
Oh,
something.
okay.
They put it there, and
So it goes into your bloodstream.
like right away, like right when they put it, it goes
Okay,
like
I want you to be so detailed because I've thought about doing it, but literally when Daphne told me all this, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
so it just like it like you feel it going through your body. It's crazy. Like you feel it going through your body. You feel like your throat is closing. You feel like you can't breathe. You feel like your heart. You feel it like in your ears. Like it's about to like come out.
of your chest.
And I'm not saying it's a good feeling, but
Wait, okay, so initially when they put it in you, like how many minutes has it been and then you start feeling like all of these effects?
right away, like you feel right
Literally?
away, and then like your face gets so swollen. You start crying. You start purging, and you purge like everything that's like inside of you, like all the emotions that you've like held in. And
Purge as in like, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you because I'm like so curious. Purge as in like you start throwing up
yeah.
while you're purging. Are you seeing anything? Like is it like are you seeing like any waviness? Like nothing?
No, you're just like throwing up, and there's different colors, because I was like, why am I throwing up white? And I told like the lady, like, why am I throwing up white if I didn't eat anything? So you're not supposed to eat anything like the
How
day,
many hours?
like
12
after
hours?
10-11 p.m.
Okay.
So you're supposed to eat. I was like, why am I throwing up? Like I didn't even eat anything that was white. She was like, oh, like do you like it is enojona? And I was like, yeah, I am. So it's basically like women release that because
Women release that because
That
they have
white.
anger? Oh, okay.
the white thing. I don't, because men, they were like throwing up another color,
What
which is
color?
weird. It was just clear.
That is so weird that you guys throw out different colors. That sounds crazy. I hope you know that. That
I know
sounds
people are watching me crazy, but it's a really good experience. But you do need to have an intention going. Like I just was not gonna go and be like, oh, I want to get like.
Yeah,
venom.
you definitely like. Do you feel like first of all, how long does it last? Like the whole process? Because how long did you purge for?
Like an
How long-
hour.
You were throwing up for a whole hour.
Well, yeah, and then I would stop, and then like you cry, you just like let everything out. Basically, you just like.
So when you're while you're throwing up, you're like crying, but it's because like mentally and spiritually, it's like also letting go of all the emotions that you're holding in. Okay, so like physically, it's the throw up, but mentally and spiritually, it's like letting out all the emotions.
Yeah, so I feel like it helped me a lot. I've done it like 4-5 times.
Okay.
So it's been a while. I haven't done it. It's been a while, and I do want to do it again. And it did help me a lot. It's
Like it helped you in like what way?
like release everything that was keeping in. Because I usually like I go through something and then I'm like, oh, like
You kind of just sweep it under the rug. Like, you don't talk about it. It's because you don't like to talk about your emotions.
and I'm just like, whatever. And then it just gets to the point where I'm like, no. And then I just start crying and crying. And I'm like, you know what? Let me do this. And yeah, I feel like it helped me a lot.
I remember the first time. Oh my gosh, I do want to say, oh my gosh. When Daphne, first of all, when you told me that you were going to do this, I was like, you're going to do what? Because I'm talking about like, Daphne doesn't do anything, you know, you barely party, and like this is like so like intense.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, I started my spiritual journey like I think 3 years ago.
Yeah.
3
you
years
were trying
ago.
to like get me.
3 years ago, and I started off by reading books. Books is definitely something that helped me kind of pivot to that journey. And then I got really into crystals and sound bowls and meditation. And then I have some mentors now. And I did my research on ayahuasca. And I didn't really look into kambo. Like, I didn't know that, like, kambo's kind of like, it's like the I guess you could say like the pre one before you do the actual ayahuasca. So I did all of my research on ayahuasca. I'm talking about like, I traumatized myself because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is not meant for the weak. Like it's I even read, oh my God, I'm going to say this little story time. So when I was curious about ayahuasca, I remember I told one of my friends about it, and she's like, don't do it. And I was like, why? And she told me that she had a friend who went to Costa Rica to go do it. And she was like with, what are they called? The shamans or like the leaders? Okay, so they were all staying like in these like little houses, like little villas. And that they had all done the ayahuasca, and they had told everybody like, hey, like there's like, because basically when you do ayahuasca, when you do kambo, like your soul leaves your body at some point. So it's an empty vessel. So if you're around bad energy, that bad energy can enter your body, and it can stay there. You know, by the time you come back, it's like it's no longer your body. And so I had known about that, but when my friend told me, she said that after everybody finished like doing ayahuasca, everybody went back to like their little villas, and then that the shaman and the other people were like, hey, everybody needs to gather up, like there's a very bad spirit roaming around. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if she like took too long to gather with everybody. Like everybody gathered so they can be protected. And I don't know what happened, but that spirit that was lingering around got inside of her. And it is so crazy because I don't personally know the girl, but she said that when she came back, she wasn't herself anymore, and she was like just a completely different person. And like she started to see things that weren't there, and I was like, oh my God, that's so scary. And it even got to the point where she had to get an exorcism, and I didn't even think that was like, I feel like when you see it in movies it's different, but when she was telling me this and she showed me videos, I was just oh my God, like
it's real.
It's real, you know, like you can go into this doing it and you might not come out the same, you know. Some people do get stuck on the trips, or they feel like they get exposed to too much, and some people have even taken their own lives because, you know, for whatever reason. So I remember when Daphne told me that she was going to do this, I was like, are you sure? You know, because I feel like I'm not even ready yet, and I've been on my spiritual journey. But she was like, you know, I feel like you had your reasons and you really wanted to. And I've always told my sister, I'm like, look, go with what your intuition is telling you. Like, you're into it, you're going to know if you want to do it. And so I literally told her, I was like, slowly, I was like, but I feel like you were already getting into crystals and stuff.
Yeah, but I wasn't really like
you weren't that into it. And I remember when I was like first on going into my spiritual journey, I came to you, Nicole, and I'm like, oh my God, this and that. And you guys were like, yeah, like whatever. And I was like, I wish they would get into it, because getting into spirituality has helped me manifest a lot of things in my life. And I even just uploaded the last YouTube video I uploaded was my vision board and how to manifest. And I really wanted you and Nicole to get into it, because I'm like, you guys have so much, like, you guys can do it. And once I saw you like into spirituality, I'm like, yes. I'm like, I love this for you. And I remember when you did the kambo, I'm like, because you were like somewhere like far or whatever, and I was like keeping up with you. I was doing something. I don't remember what I was doing, but I remember I called Nicole and I was like, hey, like how's Daphne doing? Nicole's like, oh, she's fine. And I'm like, what do you mean she's fine? I'm like, she just did kambo. Like, what do you mean? She's like, she's just in her room. And I was like, and I'm over here freaking out. And I called you, I was like, how are you? And you're like, I'm okay. And I'm like, really? Like, I guess like I was overthinking it because I'm like, oh my God, like what?
Yeah.
Like what happened? But once you did it like more times and more times, and I even remember when I saw you, I was like, oh my God, Daphne, like your energy and your aura, it just so bright and beautiful. I will say, like, for those listening, this is not something that you just do one time, and like you have to like be consistent with like being spiritual, and like cleansing your crystals and charging them in the full moon. And like to people that are not spiritual, this might sound like crazy
and that we're doing like it's not witchcraft or anything. Everything's natural.
It's not.
Everything's natural.
But you definitely become closer to nature, and just like with yourself, and you even like get to heal your inner child. It's almost like a way of like nature's therapy in a way. Like that's kind of what I see it, because I will say like therapy and getting into spirituality and meditating and all that, like that's definitely what helped me be the person that I am today. But I think it's so beautiful, and I even want to talk about like shrooms. I remember the first time I did shrooms was in Puerto Rico, I think, and I did them in nature. It was so beautiful. It was like very small doses, and you know, obviously they come from earth, and you just feel so in tune with yourself. It's almost like life is not meant to be taken so serious. Like when I was like microdosing, I just feel so much better, and I don't know, it really helped with self-love as well. But yet again, like anything, people, everyone's different. You know, I've heard some stories of people doing it and they like go crazy and like they have a really bad trip. I have experienced a bad trip, and you have to be really mentally like prepared and okay to do these kinds of things, because you can have a bad trip and that can literally change you for the rest of your life. And don't do it if you're just bored. Oh my God. I think I told you the one time that I did it by myself. I don't know if I told them, but long story short, I was bored on a Sunday and I was by myself at home, and I decided to just, you know, microdose, but I accidentally ended up taking more than the microdose, and I was freaking out, and literally the only thing that calmed me down was Tinkerbell. Watching Tinkerbell. I ended up watching the whole movies, but I was like, oh my God, I'm never doing them ever again inside. Like, you definitely want to do them in nature, and just have good intentions, you know, while doing these things. But I'm so proud of you for doing it. Do you think you would do it again anytime soon?
I feel like I would. I also did shrooms. I mean, yeah, right?
Oh, you did do that. Was a completely different experience though.
That was, I'm telling you, I was like shook. I was like, what?
But how many did you do? And it was with the same shaman people that she did.
The kambo.
Yeah, so you were safe, and you had like somebody, a professional there with you.
Yes, so it was like a 3-day preparation. So like yoga, meditation, kambo. So I was like, okay, I'm doing it, just not like to, you know, like
just
drugs.
To do it, yeah.
So I did it, and I took, I think, like 3 grams for my first time.
Girl,
oh my God, that was disgusting.
I don't know how you did that.
I don't know how. I don't know. So
girl,
it hit me right away.
You floated away, girl.
It hit me right away.
You were in another dimension, girl.
And then I was like, why do I feel like this? And then I remember they tell me, do not look at yourself in the mirror.
Do not. You're gonna freak out.
So I had to go to the restroom. I look at myself and I see like como que me estoy derritiendo, and I'm like, what's
like you were melting?
Yes.
It's because everything's like moving, right? Like even if you were to look at curtains, they're like wavy, like everything is just moving.
And I feel like it was a roller coaster. At first I was crying a lot, and I was like, I feel like I need to be away from them, and I went to like my corner, I guess, because I don't like when people see me cry. I hate it. And I just started crying, and then I just started like remember about like why I was crying, and I feel like it has to do a lot like when I was like younger and stuff,
like your inner child.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna let it out. I started crying, and then there was like a black door that looked so like far away, and I was like, why is it calling my name? And I was like, no.
You go towards the black door? Did you go towards it?
I did, and then I looked, and I was like, okay, there's nothing. So I was like, I left. But it taught me a lot. It taught me, I did go there for an intention, and maybe one day I'll open up like all open up to the world about it. But I went there and I was like looking for answers and stuff, and I got the answers not from like from a person. It's like crazy. It's like a that was like my higher self, or like
Yeah.
someone telling me like, hey, it's gonna be okay, like, you know. And it was just like
That
crazy.
was crazy. That story was crazy.
Because like that person was exactly like me. Like we had a lot of, and I don't open up like to no one, and I just felt really comfortable with her, and I was so
up.
shook.
I remember Daphne told me, she's like, there's this lady there, like an older lady that I got to sit down with and talk to, and I opened up to her, and she gave me a lot of reassurance, and I was like, oh my God, Daphne, I think that was your higher self or your spirit guides talking to you through her. And I've always told Daphne, I'm like, you can ask for guidance from the universe. You can ask them, just, you know, if you're spiritual, you can be like, spirit guides, I ask you in the most benevolent way, you know, that can you help me out with this answer or whatever, and they will answer you. They will send you signs. It can either be through angel numbers or through your spirit animal, whatever spirit animal that is. It can be anything. But it's crazy how everything works. And I am a true believer that everything happens for a reason. You never meet anyone by accident. Like everything that is happening in your life is meant to happen at that moment, right then and there. And so like, just go with it. Just go with the flow. Don't force anything, and just live in the present moment and embrace the unknown.
Yeah, and I guess like you're very very vulnerable when you're like doing shrooms, and I just saw everyone's energy. And there was this guy like,
you're sensitive to other people's energy.
There was this guy that just had like such a strong energy. I was so scared. I was like,
you were like, get away from me.
I was like, let me run. I ran. I saw him and I ran. He probably thought I was crazy or something.
What's this girl right here?
But yeah, it was a very different experience, and I was just very happy. Like I cried and let everything out that I needed to.
That's good.
And then I was just so happy, and I was like
laughing a lot. Remember?
Yeah, laughing and la la la. Like for me, it was a good trip, and it did teach me a lot. And I feel like the only thing that I didn't really get was like the reason why I was crying. I feel like I didn't really fully let it go. And I tried microdosing, but no.
But it's just also like microdosing. Like you can't just. I mean, some people are able to microdose and like go on about their day and go to work and like do all that. I feel like if I microdose, I have to be free that day and just be with good music or good energy and good people. And it is so true that when you do shrooms, you literally get to see people's aura and energy. And there's even times where I've taken shrooms like around friends, and I can see right through them, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to. I've literally stopped talking to people after we've shroomed, because you really get to see people's true like colors and intentions and energy, and your energy will literally repel some people, and that's just like your gut telling you like, stay away from this energy.
Yeah, and I would say after that my intuition got so like strong, like after like everything that I've done, that like I feel when something's coming. Like it's crazy.
It's almost like, I feel like because you're more in tune with yourself and you're vibrating at a higher frequency. I actually, I don't remember if I read it or if I listened to somewhere where this person was asking this, who was it? I think it was Dolores, or it was like some mentor. He was like at speaking at some event, and the person asked like, you know, how do I stop being friends with people who are not spiritual or that are no longer in line with my frequency? And he was like, you don't do anything. You don't even lift a finger. The universe will remove that person from your life, and you won't even know it. Like because you guys will no longer have anything in common, you're just going to fall off with them. And that's okay. The more that you get into spirituality and the more that you get in tune with yourself, people are going to stop coming into your life. Because for that reason, you will no longer have things in common and things to talk about. And things are just not going to align, and your frequencies are just not going to align. So some people are meant to be in your life forever. Some people are meant to be there temporary and teach you a lesson. Something else that Daphne asked me yesterday, she's like, I don't know a lot about like soulmates and stuff. And I told her that you come into this world with a soulmate, a twin flame, and a karmic partner, and there's 3 of them. And I also, something that I feel like a lot of people don't know is that not every person is meant to marry their soulmate. Sometimes they can be your best friend. It can be a family figure. It could even be an animal. And I feel like in spirituality you get to learn that. But a soulmate is somebody who you have been with through multiple lifetimes. and this lifetime, you know, either you guys are meant to be together as a couple or just friends or whatever, but you feel so attached to that person and it feels like they're a part of you. Twin flame is almost like you mirror each other, and a karmic partner is somebody that comes into your life, causes chaos. It's like it can be beautiful but causes chaos, and they're meant to teach you a lesson, and you're meant to teach them a lesson, and they leave your life. And yeah, it's crazy how everything plays a part.
I know.
It's like a huge rabbit hole. Like, but it's such a beautiful experience. But one thing that they don't say about spirituality is once you're in it, it can get very ugly because you get to discover the dark truths about yourself.
Yeah.
And like you really get to the core of like your flaws. But it's beautiful because once you get to work on them and heal from them, you just keep elevating and elevating and elevating. I remember this mentor telling me, she's like, any single time that you feel like you're failing in life, she's like, look at it like this: you're not going down. She's like, you're going down but up, but down and up. So each single step is like you're meant to go down to go up. So that's something, that visual is like something that has helped me out a lot. Like literally I even feel like you don't go through anything that you're not meant to go through.
Yeah.
And it's meant to like make you stronger in the end, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like obviously I'm not telling you go do shrooms or like, you know, try things. But if you're trying to get into like
spirituality,
yeah, I feel like that's a really good start. I mean, not to start off with shrooms, but like, you know, start off slowly. And
yeah,
because I feel like I went right to it.
Yeah, you did, girl. I was a little bit concerned.
I'm going to it. I don't know. And I got my chakras aligned.
You did. So I'm telling you, Daphne, because I'm like, you know, I kind of like knew that you like, I was like, I think you need to get out of Houston. You know, the weather's a little bit shitty over there. I was like, come to LA. And the first thing I told her, I was like, would you like to get your chakras aligned? There's not a lot of like spiritual places that you can go to in Houston.
Yeah.
But LA is the spot. Like, oh my God, the sound bowl classes they have here, beautiful. And so we found a person and you went, and I've gotten my chakras aligned too. And I kind of told Daphne like what to expect, but everyone is different. And how was your experience with that? Do you want to talk about it?
It was great, honestly. Like, I went in there and obviously they can see like your energy, and I've already known this, what she told me, but I just never really like worked for it or like worked on it. And you know, all of them were unbalanced. I was like, damn.
All your chakras were everywhere, girl.
She was like, it's okay. Like, when I was your age, I was not even doing this. Like, you're like starting really young.
Yeah, that's
like
what
you're
saying.
telling me.
Like, literally, that's why I'm like, I admire that so much about you.
And then I was just there, and she was like, I sense like negativity, and I'm like, I mean, I am negative at times.
Don't say that. Just no. That's not a good affirmation to say. I am not negative.
Well, I am not negative.
Yes, there we go.
I
sis.
was. No,
yes.
Not anymore.
Yes.
Like, not
Good
anymore.
job, sis.
But she just like, you know, she was like, oh, like asking me personal questions, and I just started crying. I was like, y me tenía como un papel aquí en mis ojos, and I'm like, my tears are like just right there.
They're just bottling up right there.
Yeah, and she was like, oh.
She lifted it up. It's like, psh.
All of it like that. No, and everything that she told me, like, it was true. Like, I need to work on my self-love. I need to work on myself. And I've always known that, but I've never took like a step. And I feel like now, like fitness and this, it's like me taking a step forward.
Yeah.
And I just need to, like journal or
yesterday Daphne was like, and I talked about this in the last episode with Jenica, mirror work is something that literally has changed, and I would advise this to anyone to try out mirror work. Anyone can do it. Literally just look at yourself in front of the mirror, even if you feel so ugly that day, or if you feel bad, or if you feel down, just look at yourself in the mirror and say something positive about yourself. You can say the most crazy, just say something positive. Like, you can literally say, I'm beautiful, I'm nurturing, I'm royalty, I'm passionate, I'm sexy, anything. And if you just start doing that just at least once a day, or even if you're in the car driving and you're mentally saying it to yourself, it is going to help rewire your brain, and you're going to start believing these things, and it's going to boost your confidence, and it just really elevates your life to a whole other level. That's something that I do for self-love. Something else that I love to do is, I told Daphne, like, I love to go get roses and pick them apart and make a bath and throw them in it. Even if you don't have a bath, buy yourself roses.
Yeah, that's...
Have you ever bought yourself roses?
No. But I am for Valentine's.
Yes, love that.
I'm like, but I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like another thing that I need to learn is to let go and forgive.
Let go or get dragged. Let go or be dragged. That's something else that I learned too.
Let go and forgive. And she told me, yeah, you need to like learn how to let go, because I feel like I hold into everything.
You hold grudges.
Yeah, and it's bad. And she told me, yeah, that's bad for you. And
I feel like a lot of people do though, and they don't realize it. You know?
yeah, because I didn't. I was like, why like this is, and she was like, well, it's because you have all this inside of you, and so you like project it to people, and like you take it out. So I was like, like I didn't see it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely like one
Something
of my
else
goals
that you want to work on.
That to work on myself, and honestly, I feel great after that.
Like the Reiki session?
Yeah, I
I
feel
love
great.
that.
And I swear I thought I was there for like a few minutes. It was 2 hours.
This girl was there for 2 hours.
I was
waiting
2
for her to
hours.
get out, and I was like, I'm so hungry. But
Yeah, so yeah, she was like, I mean, it was meant to be. Like, you came to me, who I didn't even know was gonna come to LA, first of all, and getting chakras, like,
But everything happens for a reason, isn't it? It's so
Yeah.
beautiful how everything happens for a reason. I just love it. That's why I never question when anything happens in my life. I just kind of literally go with the flow.
Yeah. So I feel like that's for me, like so far,
Like
like,
what
to
you
work
want-
on myself and my fitness, and I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm feeling good, like physically, but mentally, I feel like I have to work on like more mentally.
But I feel like you're doing very well. Mentally, I feel like when I was your age, you know, I was all over the place. And like I said, I think it's just beautiful how you're working on this at such a young age. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see where Daphne Marquez is going to be in like 5-10 years, even by the summertime. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm still learning, growing, but yeah, I feel like I needed this.
This is your year.
Yeah, I needed this for me.
This is our year.
Yeah.
It is. January has been crazy, but we're here and
Yeah,
we're alive.
Summertime, I'm gonna have a big butt, some abs. You're gonna be like,
Period. I'm
Who's that,
gonna have you train me, please, for some abs and some legs because
I'll
I
be
need
in a
it.
podcast during summer so you can see me.
You're gonna be like, "Urgh."
No, my back, guys. Oh my god.
I will say, yeah, your
I'm
back
getting-
looks really beautiful.
Oh my god. But yeah, I'm just excited, and I mean, I feel like it's a process.
It is a process. Do you feel like down the line you're still gonna, like, would you ever do ayahuasca?
Yeah, but I am scared. Like, I mean, I would do it. I feel like I would be the type, if they tell me right now, like, let's do it, I would do it. But
Really?
yeah, like if I came across, yeah, like I'll do it.
You know what they say? So what I learned about like crystals is like you don't pick crystals pick you.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that I've done in my life, I've like let it come so easily, and I feel like I haven't had the urge to do ayahuasca or kambo,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I'm gonna know when it's the right time to do it. So maybe I'll
will
do it this
together.
year. I feel like I would want to do no, actually, yeah, I would want you there, because I was gonna say I want to do it on my own, but no, because of your experience, I feel like you would know how to like calm me down.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Depends.
But I feel like you're
my
also gonna be
trip.
going through
Yeah, I'm gonna look at you like
you're on your own, bitch.
Yeah, like girl, on my trip.
Oh man.
So, how are you mentally and physically, like right now?
Mentally, I'm actually okay. I mean, I'm good. I feel like I've learned how to deal with my emotions.
Yeah.
Take it day by day. I always remind myself that if I'm having a bad day, I always tell myself like it's a bad day, not a bad life. I mean, my family's healthy. You know, I'm actually doing really good. Physically, I'm actually trying to get back into my fitness
Yeah, we've
journey.
been on
I
it.
told you that. Today's
been on
Pilates
it.
class definitely humbled me.
Me too.
I literally, thank God we did not get put next to each other, because we would have been laughing the whole time and they would have been like, yeah, but just get out.
No, yeah. Oh my god, that's
Because I feel like,
class.
No, yeah. And it was just funny because when you walked in, I was like, look at this girl walking in. And I'm over here
Dude,
struggling with my arms.
I felt like zombie. I looked like zombie. I was out of there.
So I have a spontaneous question for you.
Okay.
If you were to have a superpower, what would that superpower be?
Huh. I would read minds.
I would too. I would do the same thing. Read minds.
Really?
Yeah, I would love that.
Fiona.
Girl. I said either read minds or be invisible.
Yeah.
I would just love to like people watch and like, you know, just be like right there and not anybody know.
Or like a couple and be like, well, your man thinks you're.
Oh
Or
my
your
god,
girlfriend
imagine.
thinks.
I definitely would love, or even to fly. You know, I have a lot of dreams where
Oh.
I've flown, And it's so cool because I remember it so vividly. I remember this dream where I was flying over the ocean. I remember touching the ocean, and it feels like I actually did that. But they say it's so crazy that when you dream, you literally are going into another universe, another dimension. And they're saying that it actually happens, but you just come back to your physical world. It's so crazy. You like dreams in general. Do you dream a lot?
Yeah, I've been having the weirdest dreams. I'm talking about, like, I had a dream I was with Thor.
What? That is so
No.
random.
This other dream is crazy.
Was he
like,
hot?
yes. I was like, he's my favorite, like, or whatever.
Is he really?
Yeah. But no, I had this dream that I was with Benjamin Franklin.
What the fuck? Oh, what?
Girl, back to the, I don't know what year.
And
And
you time traveled?
I think I
That
did.
is
And
so
I was just like
random.
with all of them, like, you know, like, and I was just like, like in my head, like in my dream, I was like, what am I doing here?
Oh
but like,
my god, you want to know what?
what?
Let's get a little bit spooky.
Okay.
You're like,
Girl.
remember that mirror that I had that was like three, like it was like
Oh,
three
yeah.
mirrors attached? Okay. I don't think I've talked about this before, but I bought this mirror from a vintage thrift store. And it was like three mirrors connecting to one, and it folded. And the lady was like, oh, this mirror is like super vintage. It's from like the 60s or whatever, right? I get this mirror, and I had just bought my house. I had just moved in. So I moved in, and it was a new house. You know, it doesn't have any previous energy or anything. It's brand new. I bought this mirror, and I remember I set up the mirror across from my IKEA mirror. I was like with my cousins downstairs, and we just hear like something shatter. The mirror, the IKEA mirror, fell. I don't know how, because it was on carpet. So I'm like, how could it have tilted over
Yeah.
if I had it? It shattered, and I was like, what the heck? And I thought that was so weird, right? And then because I had the mirror upstairs, nobody believed me that I kept hearing footsteps upstairs. I kid you not, Daphne, until Andrew slept over at my house. And he's like, what is that? And I was like, I told you. I'm like, there's foot. I'm like, it was so loud. And he's like, what room is up there? And I'm like, I don't mean to scare you, but I'm like, it's the room where the mirror's at. And he's like, do you think it's haunted? And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I've barely been having it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until this is when I knew the mirror had to go. My dreams. I started to dream of this old lady. And this is what was around when I was living at with Banks and like at the Face House.
Oh.
Because like, it was so crazy, because then that energy that the mirror had started following me, because I was having the craziest, scariest dreams, and I kept dreaming of like this old house and this old lady telling me to leave her house like every single time. And I would go back. I've never had dreams. No, actually, I have had dreams where I go back to the same place and I'm like, I've been here before. And it was this old lady always kicking me out of her property or like trying to scare me off. And I remember I woke up sweating, crying, because in that dream, I had just given birth, and I was like rocking the baby, and that my grandma was like, oh, can I see the baby? And so I give my grandma the baby, and when I look up, it's that old lady from the farmhouse telling me like, you're gonna die, like you're never getting rid of me. And like it's almost like she like tried to bite me. And I wake up like screaming and crying. I'm like, oh my god, like what is going on? I'm like, these dreams are like so
Getting more
intense,
intense,
and they
yeah.
were getting more and more intense. And I even called my abuelita, and I was like, abuelita, I'm like, I don't know like what's going on. I'm like, and then I didn't put two and two together about the mirror until I went back to my house. This was the scariest part. Okay, I had just gotten back. I'm eating cereal. And you know, my kitchen and the tables right here, and you know the little hallway, like, so I'm eating, and I just see from my peripheral vision a shadow just walk across the hallway. I was like, oh hell no, I'm not doing this. I grabbed my shit and I went to my mom's house. My mom was like, what are you doing here? It was already like 11 something. I had just landed from a trip, so I was so tired. And I showed up to my mom's and I just started crying. I'm like, I saw somebody. And because I have been haunted in the past,
Yeah.
I know that shit is real. I never once, like, I believe it. Like, if there is like a God, there's a devil, you know? So there is for sure like another spiritual realm. And so when I saw that shadow, I knew that I saw what I saw. And I told my mom, I was like, oh my god, like I think we need to get the house blessed. Like I don't know what is going on. And finally I was like reading a book or something, and upstairs, like in my little couch, and the mirror was there, and something in my voice was like, something in my head told me like, get rid of the mirror. And I, as soon as I got that, I turned around and I look at the mirror, and I just got the most like eerie feeling, and I was like, it's the mirror. So literally as soon as I I don't know why I was so attached to the mirror. Like, I should have just gotten rid of it. I got it out of my house and the thing stopped. So my dreams were like so intense and they were so crazy, and it was that fucking mirror. It was that mirror. But
I don't know. I guess I never like. I remember seeing the mirror, but I mean, I didn't get that. Just passed by.
And it is. People say that mirrors are portals. Okay, they say that they're portals, and like, I never really looked into it like that. Like, I know that you're not supposed to sleep with a mirror in front of your bed, you know, and stuff like that. But it definitely was the mirror, and it is so true when people say that like energies can get attached to things.
Yeah.
So that mirror probably was owned by somebody back then that had maybe some crazy energy, or like, I don't know what it was, but I learned to not thrift mirrors or to like thrift anything that like, I don't know, like a fucking jewelry box or something.
Yeah.
I'm so scared of thrift stores after that. I was like, yeah, no. But
yeah, that's scary. I think Nicole also experienced something, no?
Oh my God, you're so right. Because she stayed upstairs. Oh my God, let's talk about that. So I don't know what you guys are visiting for, but you and Nicole had visited.
Yeah, and I stayed with you.
You stayed downstairs with me.
And Nicole stayed upstairs.
And Nicole stayed upstairs by herself. And honestly, dude, I'm so scared to go upstairs in my house when the
Girl,
mirror
me
was
too.
there.
It's
just scary because I live in such a big house and it's so like, because
like,
it's just us,
yeah.
it's like it feels so empty. But I remember the next day, Nicole came into our room. She's like, y'all aren't funny trying to scare me. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you guys tried to scare me last night. And
yeah,
I was like,
I remember.
I was like, no, we didn't. And literally you and I were looking at each other like, what is she talking about, you know? And Nicole was like, I heard footsteps. Like, I was even ready to record you guys when y'all were going to walk in. So when Nicole said that she heard footsteps, I was like, oh my God. And then that's when I told her about the mirror. And Nicole got so scared. And then, you know, somebody else also experienced something upstairs when the mirror was still there. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, that mirror it definitely carried some very strong
Yeah.
energy.
Thank God que no me pasó nada a mí porque...
Yeah, no. But yeah, do not thrift mirrors. To anyone listening out there, they can definitely carry some energy, and there's some crazy portals. Whew. Okay, well, before we end today's episode, I want to ask you another fun, spontaneous question.
Okay.
If you were to be in Harry Potter, what house do you think you'd be in?
House?
Like Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor.
Oh, I mean, I don't think I really know about... I know Harry Potter, but I don't know, like, the really, like, you know...
I would think you would be in Slytherin.
What is that?
You would be in Slytherin.
What?
Slytherin.
I'll be the team where Harry Potter's at.
No, you wouldn't, girl. It goes based on personalities and morals. I think we both would be in Slytherin, maybe.
Do you believe in sidekicks?
Yes and no. I mean, like, I do, but at the same time, I don't. I don't know. I'm like, I feel like unless I experience something, or like I've never gotten a reading from like a psychic, I've always gone to like astrology, like mentors, you know, like I think that's completely different than a psychic being like telling you your future and stuff. I've never experienced that, so I feel like I'm not a believer until I experience it.
But that's crazy how like they get like that gift, you know?
I mean, it can be, I know that some people are granted that gift, and like even some, I will say when I was, and I've told this to my mom, I remember being in pre-kinder. I remember specifically, Daphne, being in pre-kinder and knowing that I was going to have some type of like popularity and that I was going to move to California, and something has always called me to Spain. I just know that those are like 3 main points. I knew that from what? Oh my God,
I saw you
scared me. I'm like all spooked out about the grandma.
Girl.
Oh my God, you scared
it's because
me.
I saw that was like, oh wait, this is your
Oh my God,
reflection.
I'm sweating. I don't know if it's because it's hot or you just scared me. Gosh. I was trying to be over here all
Ay,
beautiful.
sí, tú cuando me asustas a mí que...
Oh, no, for real, I do scare you all the time. I do get a joy out of scaring people. But then when I get scared, it's not cool.
Ay, sí.
But ever since I was little, I've always known
That
kind
you
of
really-
like my path.
So, you know, like Spain, like there's something for you in Spain.
I know for a fact I'm meant to live in Spain for some time, but it was just so crazy because I remember when I visited California for the first time, I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to live here. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, it's so expensive. You're never going to be able to afford it. And I was like, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I know. So I've always known when I was little, like I had a very strong intuition. I guess. Yeah. But some people are, I mean, I guess I kind of believe in them. I don't know. I feel like I would be too scared to go to a sidekick because I don't want to know my future.
True.
I don't want to know when I'm going to die.
True.
You know, I'm just living in the present moment. I'm just letting things happen organically. Plus, it's also scary because you're giving them your energy, you know? Like, what if they have bad intentions, and like
True, you really need
you
to
really
do your
just don't
research.
know people's intentions, and like with the way the world is now, it's just like such a scary place.
Mm-hmm.
How many kids do you want?
I'll say like two.
Two. Mm.
A boy and a girl.
Well, hurry up. I want to be an aunt. You're like, no.
She's 26. Girl, you're 26. By 26, I at least want to have one kid.
Well, we have different goals. Because I want to travel the world and get my citizenship. And
I also
then,
want to travel the world, but I see myself, I love animals. I don't know why, I just love animals.
I love animals too. I really, you know, in Hawaii, they have a cow therapy island where, like, not island, but you
Cow
can go to
therapy?
this farm and they have a bunch of cows. Yeah, there's cow therapy. So, like, to people who are very sad or, you know, are going through things, you literally go and it's a bunch of cows and you just sit there and you hug them, and like it's cow therapy. And I really wanted to do it, but I was on a different island of Hawaii. But I love animals as well.
Yeah, me too. My grandpa has cows and I always feed them.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm like, yeah, I love animals. I feel like my future would want like a ranch, the big house.
Me too. I've always
And, like,
wanted a ranch with horses.
Yeah, with a lot of
I
animals.
literally want to own a horse, but they're so expensive, and I'm like, let me
Yeah.
find a rich man to pay for my horse,
Your
because I don't
horse?
want to pay for my own horse.
No, yeah, I feel like that's what I see in my future, and it's gonna happen.
Would you know how like the Kardashians live all close together?
No.
I don't. You didn't even let me ask you the question. I was gonna say if you would love to live by me, but I guess not.
I don't know.
That's fucked up.
I mean, what, a ranch right here? Your ranch like across?
Yeah, no, not even across, girl. I need my space too. Maybe like 2 blocks down or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like neighbors. I'm
no,
like, girl, no.
I don't want you to know what I'm doing in my free time.
I'll be stalking her like this.
Yeah, no. I have a whole secret life that you don't even know about.
Girl, I know everything.
Yeah, you do. I tell you everything.
I'm like,
But I would love that though. I would love for that, or like when we have kids in the future and we're not that far, because my mom and all her sisters live so close in like Dallas.
Yeah.
And I love that I can like wake up and have breakfast at my mom's, then I go see like
The
my
tia,
tia and the kids,
uh-huh.
and then like I just love that. So I would love to have that in the future for all of us.
yeah, and maybe like have kids like around the same age.
Yeah, but the thing that I will say is I don't even know if we're going to be living in the same state, because I don't plan on living in Texas. I don't plan on settling in Texas. Actually, I don't know.
It just depends who you marry.
And yeah, it does. Because I
Yeah.
just don't know. I don't know if...
Do you feel like your partner is in the United States?
No.
Or
I
no?
don't think so. But, like, I don't know. Because European men are very, like... Or maybe they're different. But I feel like European men are very, like, flamboyant and very, like... I don't know how to describe it, but... I don't know. I don't even know why I started talking about that. But, I know that my husband is not in Texas.
Okay.
I just, you know, I haven't had any luck dating there. So I don't know, but I think it will depend wherever my husband lives. Like maybe I'll be there with him, or maybe, I mean, I plan on keeping my house that I'm in right now for a long time. So I would still have a house there, you know, but I don't know where I'm going to end up at, because I am moving to Miami in March. I found my place already.
You are moving to Miami.
I'm super excited for that chapter of my life, just because I feel like I need something new.
Yeah.
I have moved
changed.
so many times.
Girl, yes.
I know, and it's such a hassle, but it's going to be temporary. I just want to try it out. I don't want to
see
like
how it is.
move all my things there and fully dedicate my whole life there, and then I don't end up liking it, because I had a friend that moved there and she regretted it immediately. So I'm going to do a monthly lease and see if I like it. You can come visit me.
Yeah. I'll be in Miami.
Oh, Daphne
I'll
and
be,
Daisy
like,
take
in
Miami. We've
Miami.
never gone to Miami together.
No, we haven't.
Well, I'm very
So
excited
fun.
for you to come visit me, and I'm excited for what's to come for you, and I'm very thankful that I'm in your life to watch your growth and to be a part of your journey.
Yes.
I just want to say also thank you for coming on the podcast and for I was trying to give you a compliment and it wasn't coming out. I was going to say thank you for
Yeah, I
being a
think you
great
mean it.
sister. Yeah, no, I didn't really mean it. No, I'm playing. But thank you for just always being there for me, and I love
Thank
you.
you for having me and listening to me every single time I'm on the phone. I'm like, guess what happened? You're like, what?
I love listening. I just love being there for you, I will say.
Yeah.
I'm a great listener, so I feel like, you know, you're also a great listener
Yeah,
too.
I am.
You are.
So, yeah, I feel like that's...
Well, I
Yeah.
love you.
Love you too.
Why? Me too. Oh. She's like, thank you guys for listening, and
Thank
stay
you.
tuned for next week's episode. Bye, guys.